My fiancée and I overheard her tell a friend that her previous ex was the best lover she had ever had. It was quite by accident that I heard this. We had a group of our friends over, and as the night went on we all kind of busted out into little groups. Some of us were in one room playing Texas Hold'em and a couple of others were watching a Lord of the Ring marathon. I thought she was watching the movies, but she and one of her close friends were actually sitting in the kitchen drinking coffee and talking. Our group had run out of soda, so I got up to go to the kitchen to get drinks and a couple of snacks. As I'm rounding the corner, I hear my fiancée talking, and before I completely come in the room, I hear her clearly say Jason is great, but he will never be the lover that Bill was. She then followed it up with, it's not really fair to Jason though, Bill was just really gifted down there. At first I thought about just walking back into the card game and pretending like we didn't have any extra soda or food, but I decided to kind of make a noise and go in. Her friend caught at me rounding the corner, and I could see her make a face to my fiancée letting her know I was there. Of course she has no idea I heard her, and she just stops talking to her and asks me how I'm doing and if I'm having fun. I was tempted to say something like I'm having as much fun as someone who is not gifted down there can, but I didn't. I just said yes and proceeded to get my stuff and go back and finish the night. I just acted like nothing was wrong the rest of the night and went to bed. Needless to say, it fucked me up. I mean, fucked me up bad. I'd never been jealous or what you would call insecure about myself until that moment. I couldn't sleep that night, and I went through a myriad of emotions while laying there. At first I was angry. Then I was humiliated. Then I was depressed. Then I was angry again. Look, I realized that the male ego seems stupid to women and even guys who are totally self-assured. I would have agreed with most of this prior to that night, but once it has been damaged, it is a bitch. I tried to hide any form of emotion about it or ever let her know, but as the days went on I just kept getting worse and worse. I was avoiding her at all costs, and while she was suspicious, she didn't really say anything. That is until she attempted to be intimate with me a few days later, and I flat out rejected her. It wasn't by a conscious decision on my part, by the way. I had made the decision on my own to just try and get over it and move on. But in the moment, instead of being sexually aroused, I felt deeply inadequate and ashamed. Nothing was happening no matter how much either of us tried. She asked me what was wrong, and I just told her I must have been stressed from work, but she would not believe that or let it go. So much to my humiliation, there I laid, naked in bed, unable to get an erection. I came clean and told her what I heard. Well, this did not go over well at all. At first she tried to tell me I did not hear her correctly, but I just repeated to her verbatim what she had told her friend. Well, once she couldn't deny it, she then tried to apologize, and to her credit she tried to listen to my feelings on the matter. Which once again I am sure was more of a big turn off for her because I was a wreck emotionally. She tried to tell me how much of a better person I was and how I satisfy her, and she wanted nobody else. But all I could hear was Charlie Brown's teacher noise. It's been almost a month and I have zero desire to be with her sexually. None. She is now getting frustrated about this as well, but no matter what I have tried, I just cannot get past this. It's not like she said we were both good lovers or anything like that. She clearly said he was far superior, and my guess is that being gifted down there means he was significantly larger than me as well. Well, I know I can do all kinds of things with my hands, tongue, and whatever else. But no matter what I do, I can't grow in size. Obviously, she refuses to talk about that with me, saying that no matter what she says, it will only make things worse, because even if she says something positive about me, I won't believe her. She's most likely right. Some backstory here. He dumped her. It was not a mutual breakup, he flat out dumped her and broke her heart. I know this because early on in our relationship she told me this. She said she wasn't ready to be serious about anybody because her previous ex left her and emotionally broke her. So this is not a case of me even being able to say, well, she's with me because she wants to be. If he hadn't dumped her, she would never have left him. Now I have no idea if after all of these years she would leave me for him if he would come back, but I don't think she would. I just don't know what to do here. I can feel myself checking out of the relationship. I know this is petty as shit, but hearing the person you love tell someone else they prefer to have sex with someone else is just devastating to me. Her telling me all of my other good qualities has only made it worse because she is saying things that I think appeal to her and maybe other women, but being told I am a good provider and will make a great husband makes me feel like shit. Like, what would happen if I lost my good paying job, or better yet, what if I were to get injured and couldn't make anything more than state assistance? Would she be there to support and help me? Basically, what I feel like right now is a really good friend who she just allowed to have sex with. I know in my head that this is not correct, but in my heart that is what I feel. I'm sorry for the length here, and I don't even know what I'm asking here. I am totally lost, and if this continues, I just think I am going to break our engagement. TLDR, heard fiancé tell her friend that previous ex was superior in the sack, presumable due to size among other things. Relationship has gone to hell since and I need advice. Edit, holy God. I made this post last night and answered a couple of questions and then went to bed and got up today and went Christmas shopping hoping to make me forget my troubles and didn't even log in until just now. I have not even started to read the, at this point, 7.7 thousand comments on this post. I don't know what anyone has said yet, but thank you all for commenting either way. I am now going to begin the massive undertaking of looking at the comments. Also thank you for the gold and silver kind internet strangers. Edit 2, dear God. I read all the way down to the bottom of the page thinking I had gotten through most of everything, and then at the bottom it said load the 5.5k more posts. I'm stopping for the night, well, morning actually. I was going to respond to people individually, but there is just no way. I haven't even started reading the direct messages to me yet, nor have I opened any of the 20 chat screens. There are issues I want out there because there are a couple of things that are being said that are not accurate. She was to use the Barney Gumble phrase using sweet sweet drunk talk. In other words, her and her friend were drunk while talking. Nope, neither of us drink. We don't even have it in the house. That I am upset, she told her friend. Well, this is an odd thing. Before I posted this, honestly, I wasn't that upset about this part. I was then and am still far more upset that this is how she feels. However, now reading a lot of the post, I have become somewhat aggravated that she did share this with her friend. I would never say anything about her to anyone that would put her in a lesser light. That I am an insecure man-child who should just man up and learn to do better. Well, I'm certain the first part is true, being insecure and all. But the last part is just out of my control. No matter what I do, I will only ever be 7-inch long. We have talked about this BTW when she was trying to build me up. She said that I was already great with everything but the one thing I can't control. Okay, so I gave myself about a ½ inch to feel better. No, I'm not going to do anything rash. It's already been a month, so it's not like this happened last week. But yes, I have to decide what I am going to do here before long. It's not fair to either of us, as I am just coasting through this and no longer committed. She is sorry that I heard it. She said she is sorry she said it, but at the end of the day she would not be sorry if I didn't catch her saying it. It is what it is. But yes, I do believe she is regretting it because she has basically been a mess since I first told her. Me not wanting to be with her is bothering her a lot, according to her. I don't know how much of that I believe, but right now I guess I don't know why she would lie. It really has wrecked hell on our Christmas spirit this year, I know that. Edit 3, engineer for those who keep asking what I do for a living. She is a paralegal. Edit 4, people have been asking about the relationship with the ex and how I know she was heartbroken. We met about 9 months after they separated. I know that ultimately he wanted to be with someone else, although she has claimed he never cheated. He just ended things so he could be with another woman. She approached me at a local workshop and we started dating. On our 4th date, when things started to get physical, she broke down crying about the ex. It was certainly weird to hold someone while they cried about someone else, but I did it. We sporadically dated for a couple more months, in which time I never tried to cross any boundaries physically because it was obvious she wasn't over him, so while we just went out of dates, I tried to keep myself of the mind that we were just friends because I didn't want to commit either. After close to 2 months, she drags me from my car to her apartment and begins to tell me how much she has appreciated my patience with her and how she felt stupid about dragging me along for so long. Obviously, that was our first night together. Within 3 months of that, she is telling me that she loves me. So yes, she was still hung up on our ex for fact when we got together. I had thought/hoped she was over him before this happened. My fiancé suddenly doesn't want to marry me anymore because of a disagreement we had a year ago. Hi everyone. I've been with my fiancée Lola for almost 7 years now, and we've been engaged for 2 of those years. We have twins together, MNF3, and I thought we were happy. About a year ago we had a small fight/disagreement about how she was raising our kids, but after receiving some feedback from Reddit, I was able to see that I was in the wrong and I was being incredibly offensive toward my wife. This was on a different account that I lost the info for, but everyone was very helpful, so thanks again. I apologized and she seemed to accept my apology, and I thought things were back to normal after all of that. She seemed to be her normal self again, and we didn't argue/disagree about that topic anymore. In fact, we hadn't had even a minor disagreement for months after that. I thought we were happy. Well, we were originally planning to get married last year, October of 2023, but she ended up changing her mind and saying she wanted to push back the wedding a bit. I was a bit confused and she wouldn't really elaborate on why. She just said it was stressful to plan a wedding with toddlers and she needed some time, so I agreed. Well, she just dropped a bomb on me out of nowhere a few days ago when she randomly stated that she doesn't think she wants to get married anymore. This was heartbreaking to hear, of course, and I asked that we sit and talk it out. She ended up telling me that she doesn't think we're compatible after 7 years, and that she thinks we should go our own ways and co-parent. I'm devastated. I pressed for more information, like what made you realize this? And why now? And she basically said that she felt like I didn't really know her and that I didn't want to know her. I thought this was ridiculous. I know everything about her. I know her favorite color, movie, and song. I know her favorite food. I can read her body language extremely well. I do know her. We've been together for years. She said a few more things, and apparently, she's been thinking over our relationship since that fight happened a year ago. She said it was eye-opening for her, and that when I let her see the post and she looked through all the comments, she realized things about me that she had swept under the rug for years and blown off as one-time issues. She went on a whole spiel about all these things she had realized about me and how she didn't think we should be together anymore. I don't even know what she means. I think I zoned out for most of her rant because I was so blindsided and hurt by this that I was trying not to break down in tears. I offered to go to couples counseling and individual counseling, but she said it was too late and that I should have done that/offered that a year ago when this all blew up. I don't even know what to do now, and I think it's a bit unfair for her to put all of that on me. Just because I didn't think of therapy after a minor disagreement a year ago, I'm no longer someone she wants to marry? That's insane. I don't know what to do. How can I get her to give me another chance to see that I still love her and we can make this work? What can I say to make her change her mind? I'm so lost and I don't know what to do. Edit. I think it might be a good idea to link the original post with the details of our disagreement, as some people are asking for the details and accusing me of avoiding the question, so the post can be found here. Edit. I feel that you all have given me a lot to think about and reflect on. Thank you. I will no longer be replying to comments. Update. I tried to make this a new post, but I couldn't get it to show up, so I think I might be doing something wrong. Hi everyone. This will likely be the last post I make about this situation, as everything seems to be final now. This one is made with my ex's permission, and she will read over it beforehand, as she thinks I am an unreliable narrator. First of all, we have broken up. She gave me back the ring even though I said she didn't have to and she could pawn it and keep the money. She didn't want to do that and gave it back to me. I think I will pawn it myself and give her the money since she has moved out of the house. She moved in with her brother and his partner, who is actually able to get her a job where he works, and she is apparently starting next week. We will split our time with the kids since she said she was able to get shifts that align with my schedule. I have a pretty flexible schedule, but I just prefer to work the same days/times every week, so we will trade off the kids when each of us is at work and we are going to split the weekends. We are going to get a custody agreement, but we talked about it and agreed to 50-50ths, and we are both going to be cooperative as I don't want to stress her out and I do want to see my kids. I will also be brushing up on Mexican culture so that I am able to participate in things with my children, and I am looking to take some Spanish classes as well so I can communicate with them in both languages. I showed my wife the last post the day after I made it, and she read it over and read all my comments and a lot of the other comments. She took like 2 days to do this. Afterward, she said she wanted to talk and asked me if I was serious when I claimed that I thought she wanted to break up because of the one fight about the food. I said yes, because I was serious and did think that, and she said she couldn't believe me. I asked her to elaborate and she got very mad and asked me if I was really so oblivious to my own actions. I realized that I probably have been oblivious to my own actions, and that I've been selfish, and she blew up and said something and asked me if I needed a fucking list so I could see all of the shit I've been doing. I told her I would appreciate if she could communicate some of the issues, and there was no need for a list, but she said that a list would probably lessen the chances of me losing focus while she went on a rant. Ouch, but dessert. We ended up having a long talk about it, and she wanted me to include this in the post, so I will add it below. Note that these are just things that happened since the fight about the food. When one of her nieces had a quinceañera, I kept calling it a sweet 16. She said she explained to me multiple times that they were different, had different meanings, different cultural significance, and had different practices. She said I still called it a sweet 16 when I would talk to people about it or mention it. She said I also embarrassed her at the party because she felt that I was making fun of how her relatives were dancing. I, to this day, sometimes call her Spanish instead of Hispanic/Latina/Mexican. She said there is a big difference and me slipping up and forgetting is BS. When she was pregnant with the twins, I told her she could give them names that are pronounced in Spanish so that her non-English speaking family could say them easily, and also since they are half Mexican. We agreed that she could, so long as I could choose which name was final. She said that I have not held up my end of the deal, and that when we were at Christmas with her family in December, I obsessively corrected her family members when they pronounced our daughter's name Elena, and kept saying it Elena. According to her, I did this more than 6 times that night, and she stopped keeping count. I didn't let her feed our kids some Mexican stew she had made because it looked spicy. I genuinely thought it was. She said she told me she hadn't used spicy peppers, but that night I fed them something else before the soup was done, and she said I disrespected her and her parenting skills. She feels like she is not allowed to listen to her music/any Spanish music because I will complain or change the song. She said she can only listen to her music when I am not home, otherwise I will always change it within a few seconds. She said there were other smaller examples, but these are the bigger ones that she had already mentioned/brought up before, and nothing had changed. When I asked her why she stayed with me for so long or why she didn't mention these things more, she said that she's always had low self-esteem and she thought that I was a good person/partner other than these things, so she always talked herself out of a breakup, but she was just over it now. The things she listed off really opened my eyes and made me realize how selfish and unaware I've been, and I know that I need to change. I apologized to her, and I know it won't change her mind, but that's okay. I just want her to know that I do regret my actions. I'm not going to ignore her or gray rock her like some people were suggesting, as I want to remain amicable for our children. I want us to have good communication, as I don't want our kids to grow up with parents who hate each other and can't have a simple conversation. Thank you to everyone who left comments, especially the ones who were harsh. I also want to correct a typo in my last post where I said we were going to get married in October of 2023. It should have read October of 2022.